What is up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the Dense Pixels Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Brad, joined by my co-hosts, Micah.
Hello.
And Carrie.
What's up?
It's only been 2 weeks, but it feels like a lot longer than 2 weeks since we recorded for some reason. I don't know why, but I'm in much better spirits than I was last time we recorded an episode, even though the endemic violence in America has not stopped.
No.
It's still going on, but I'm just a little bit more upbeat and chipper. I'll throw it to you guys first. Do you want to talk about state of play, or do you want to hear about the thing that everyone in the game industry is talking about right now?
I heard one opinion about the thing that you're talking about, and while I respect that opinion, I respect yours more. I'm very curious as to what this is before I even bother tapping the app. I want to hear your thoughts on it.
Well, let's start with Diablo Immortal, perhaps the most talked about mobile game in recent memory. I can't remember a mobile game that was talked about as much as this in recent times. So I'm having a lot of fun with Diablo Immortal because at the end of the day, at its core, the gameplay, the minute-to-minute, stuff, it's a Diablo game, and a good one at that. Like, it's really fun. Using my Backbone controller, I haven't used the touch controls at all. It's been a joy to play on a controller, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
So that's been pretty fun. And look, my character is level 47 right now, I want to say, 48, 47, in that range. The level cap is 60 before you start getting into Paragon Land. And I've probably put in, I don't know, maybe like 10 hours so far into the game, 10 to 12. I would imagine at this point. I've literally played it every day since it's come out. Like I said, it's been fun. It is a Diablo game for better and worse. The minute-to-minute gameplay, constantly getting loot, all that shit is in there. It's got a campaign with incredibly cheesy, dialogue and story and all this other stuff. The main villain's name is a demon named Skarn, by the way, which all I can think of when I hear Skarn is Michael Skarn. So that's always fun. It also has like the dumb stuff that you have in every Diablo game, which is, grinding bounties and things of that nature as you go along as ways to get XP and stretch out the content. It's also like arguably the most MMO a Diablo game has been, because like when you're in these spaces and in these areas on the map, other players that are on the same server as you are literally populated in that space with you, and you can interact with them and create clans and war bands, and they have raids in the game because you can fight raid bosses with 8 other players or with 7 other players, and they have a lot of like team-based activities, which for a Diablo game is pretty cool. Like stuff you specifically have to do with other players. Like they have multiplayer only content, and they have a good engine for bringing folks together to do that. Like, and I've already like explored some of the other stuff. Like I just became a shadow, because the thing with Immortal is that they have it's the Immortals versus the Shadows is like this sub conflict that's going on underneath. And like you as the Shadows can join dark clans that are also Shadows, and the top Shadow teams can overthrow the Immortals and they'll become Immortals the next season and shit like that. So like there's a lot of interesting stuff going on here. The game is completely free. I've spent a total of $5 to buy the Battle Pass for this season, the Premium Battle Pass. And I haven't had to spend any other money. There's no gated limits on how much you can play per day and stuff like that. And I've been progressing through the story. I'm still not done the campaign yet. I feel like I'm getting kind of close to the end, but I'm still working through that. So overall, for a Diablo game, it's pretty fun. But we'll ask your question, because we might get into it. So
I want to try it, but I do not have a backbone, and I literally and figuratively, and I don't want to tap all over the place. abilities.
Yeah.
That's my only thing. It's the only reason I haven't really gotten into it is that game feels like it's very. It feels like it's gonna be Diablo, and Diablo. There's a lot of clicking, and I don't want to have to keep.
So even though I'm not using even though I'm using a controller, the interface is still on the screen. Like I still have to see kind of how the button layout is. And it's not bad because like it's literally like you have your D-pad on one side that you can, tap to move your guy around. And then you have these big buttons for each of your skill abilities. And like you have one major button which is your primary attack, and then you have 4 other buttons that, surround it. That are your other skills that you can, like your skills that are on cooldown that you can do. So I don't feel like it would be bad, but that being said, like you could always just get like a mount for a PlayStation controller and just sync your PlayStation controller to your phone and just play it that way if you really wanted to. Or you could play it on the PC because it's on PC as well. And you could play it with a keyboard and mouse or a controller on there. So like there's options for you. But there are a lot of very curious decisions that they made with this game. And it all stems from it being a mobile game. And it all stems from Blizzard being a company that likes to make as much money as they humanly possibly can. And it's led to some not offensive curious decisions, but it's also some incredibly weird and offensive curious decisions. So one of the non-offensive curious decisions is that there's points in the story that are level gated. Like you literally have to level your character up to certain levels to progress the story, which I guess is fine, but it's also kind of weird because like you'll like finish a part of the main campaign and then it's like, all right, well the next thing you have to do is get to level 50. And I'm like, well, I'm at level 46 right now. So what am I going to do? Just grind bounties and rifts and all this other stuff until I level up? And yeah, that's basically what you're going to do because that's, I mean, and again, that being said, they have a lot of activities you can do in the game, but bounties aren't, the most fun thing to do in the entire world. Rifts are fun, but that leads to the other incredibly curious thing that they've done. So they have 2 types of rifts. They have the challenge rifts, which are basically challenge your build and see, how hard of a challenge it can take on. And you start at 1, and I'm at challenge rift 10. I think the highest challenge rift that anyone's unlocked so far is 60. And those are unlimited. You can do those as much as you want, but they don't really have a lot of great rewards. Like the only time you get a reward for a challenge rift is every time you clear a level for the first time, you get a reward, but it's usually nothing to write home about, right? Mm-hmm. So they're there. But then there's the Elder Rifts. The Elder Rifts are very similar to like the Nephilim Rifts and the Greater Rifts that are in Diablo 3. It's kind of supposed to be your main source of grinding because those rifts are where you can get gear, and importantly those rifts are also where you can get legendary gems, and that's where a lot of the controversy around Diablo Immortal has reared its head because much like a Diablo game, you have loot that drops, you have equipment that you can get, and then you can socket gems to give that equipment additional properties. Now in other Diablo games, it was typically the equipment that was kind of the draw, and it still kind of is that way in this one. Like, there's legendaries that have special, unique powers and stuff like that, and you're always trying to get more powerful. But the legendary gems is really what you want. Like, that's really what makes your build what it is. And you can level those gems up to unlock further abilities that those gems can do. And they have like star ratings. So like if you've played Genshin Impact, like how the characters and items drop with like a 1 to 5 star rating. Well, gems drop the same way. And a 5-star gem is a maxed out gem. But most of the legendary gems you get are going to be like 1 and 2 stars. Right? Mm-hmm. You can earn the most reliable way to earn legendary gems is by playing through a challenge rift. Or not a challenge rift, but an elder rift is what they call it. And you can earn them in other ways, but that's the most reliable way to earn those gems. But
can you upgrade those gems?
Like you can. But here's the thing: to upgrade a legendary gem from level 1, from 1 star to 2 star, costs you 1 other legendary gem that you would destroy basically to do that. You're like, okay, cool. To go from 2 to 3 is 5 legendary gems that you have to destroy. And I'm assuming it gets exponentially greater from there because I've only leveled up a legendary gem to level 3 so far. It's the highest I've gone. So But here's the tricky thing. When you run an Elder Rift, you're not guaranteed to get a legendary gem. There's a drop table for it. And when you do get a legendary gem, the odds of getting a powerful legendary gem, obviously not that high. As Paul Tassi of Forbes put it, it's like buying a loot box and then having to play a dungeon before you get to open it. Essentially, that's kind of what it is. And here's the thing that's really dumb. So to increase your odds, you have to equip these crests before you go into the Elder Rift, and they're consumable items, right? Every day you get one regular crest or Elder crest for free, but you only get one a day. You can buy more, of course, but you only get one of them a day. But those don't help you. Like, those help you a little bit, but they don't help you a lot. What you want are the legendary crests, okay? And the legendary crests you don't get you get a couple for free as you play through the game, but you generally don't get those for free. You can purchase them with currency that you earn in the game at a clip of 1 per month. And the only other way to get them is to fork over actual hard-earned dollars.
So what you're saying...
You mean to tell me that a mobile game developed by Activision Blizzard is really predatory and it's trying to dig your wallet right out of your pocket? It's incredibly
predatory. And here's the thing that's a problem. So for someone like me who's playing this casual core, I would say, but I'm also not concerned with being like the top of the leaderboards. Like, I'm not concerned about like maxing out my character to the highest possible degree. I'm not too bothered by it. But at the same time, there's like an end point that I'm going to hit with the game where it just becomes tedious to play it because I'm not really progressing towards anything. But if you were someone...
Your choice is to grind it out or to give them...
No. You can't even grind it out because, like I said, you really can't earn these legendary crests any other way. Literally, the only way to have a chance at getting these gems, unless to your point, yes, I guess I could grind out getting a gajillion legendary gems and then upgrading the ones that I have that I like that fit my build. But if you want to truly like min-max your way to success in this game, it will literally cost you money, to the point that somebody, I don't know who, but somebody did the calculations. To get a fully maxed out character in this game could cost you upwards of $100,000 of real American money if you paid your way to do it, essentially.
Yeah, I heard it's $110,000. Yeah. That's a big ass whale.
Well, and here's the thing. It didn't have to be this way. Like, you have a fun game. And well, the thing that I don't understand, to some extent, is we have 2 other Diablo games that are currently on the market that are very good. And we have Diablo 4 that's coming next year, probably, which is, I would presume, is going to be very good. So it's not like this is the only way to experience Diablo. Like, if anything, playing this game has made me think, I wonder if I should pick up Diablo 2 finally. Like I might be in the mood to actually play through Diablo 2 and do all that. I am not going to... I'll buy a battle pass. I might even buy one of, like, the cheap discounted, like, you know how mobile games, like, oh, here's this, like, booster pack for completing this area that comes with this shit. Like, I might buy, like, 1 or 2 cheap one of those. I'm not going to spend more than $10 a month on this game. And even then, like what does $10 a month get you? Not really a whole lot. And, like, you can literally see, I think Asmongold did a video on YouTube of him running free dungeons, like running regular dungeons with free currency versus, like, running with the legendary crest that you can pay for. And it is wildly different, like, the rewards that you get. They are literally telling you, hey, like, drop money if you want to get powerful in this game. And that really fucking sucks. Like, it's a really huge fucking bummer to see that, because say what you like, and that's the thing that boggles my mind about this, that Activision Blizzard has experience in making a very successful free-to-play mobile game that's not like... I mean, people have complaints about Hearthstone, and rightfully so. It's not perfect. But you can do a lot in Hearthstone for very little money and still feel like you're getting your money's worth, to the point where you want to give them money. Like, we talk about all the time on this show, how there's a handful, a small handful of games that are either free to play or very low cost to entry that have microtransactions that deliver such a good enough game experience that you don't feel bad handing your money to those people, because you don't feel like you're being cheated out of it, or you don't feel like that you're being funneled to spend it. Like, it's like, hey, I'm having a good time with this. I'm going to reward the developers, and here's $20 to buy this thing that'll give me some extra stuff in this game that I'm already enjoying. Apparently Genshin Impact is like that as well. Like, Genshin Impact is a gacha game with a Breath of the Wild fucking, scene on top of it. But people enjoy giving money to that game because there's a lot of content in that game that you can play that's genuinely free. That's not going to rake you over the coals for money. And Diablo Immortal, once I get past the story, I'm really curious to see what draw there is to really continue grinding up my character, because there are certainly power gaps in the game. Like you have like a PvE ranking, or not ranking, but like a PvE power level and a PvP power level, because they have PvP in the game as well, which is also really fun. And I would imagine that those gains are going to slow once you hit the max level, unless you start like, oh, now you got to get these gems. Here's the thing, everything they say where they're like, oh, all of your gear, there's no pay to win, there's no pay for gear in the game. That's true, unless you count legendary gems as gear, which, considering they're integral parts of these builds, they absolutely are.
It's like buying a gun or getting a gun for free, but like buying bullets like $1,000 a bullet or some shit.
Yeah. It's like I said, and I just don't understand why they felt like they needed to go that route. I understand why they did it, because they felt like they could, but I don't see why they feel like they needed to do that, because this, like, it's Diablo, like it's a property that has millions of fans that would have been excited about this game, that became excited about this game when you're like, oh, it's coming to PC. And it got the game got a lot of good press, and they were hyping it up and talking about it and all this jazz. You didn't have to make it this harsh. You really didn't. Because I have a feeling that you would make as much money catering to people, to a wider swath of people willing to give you a little bit of money, than trying to go whale fishing, which is what they're doing right now. And apparently, like most people think that this game is, designed specifically for the Asian market, where they don't give a shit about this stuff. Like, they will absolutely spend money on these games because they're kind of used to it. And for us in the US, like, unless you're a mobile gamer, it's shocking how much money that they expect you to dump into this game.
Yeah. $100. What?
Yeah. but like I said, it's I don't know. Like, I feel like there's time for them to turn the ship around. Like, I do feel like that they're going to monitor their player numbers, and they're going to see like when people are dropping off. And I have to imagine that they see people not really investing into the end game, that they're going to have to make some changes to the economy. But
sure, but like in the meantime, like, it's better to beg for forgiveness than ask for permission.
Sure.
Right? Like, see what you can squeeze out of these people, and then you look like heroes, right?
Right.
Oh, well, we see you guys don't look like it's classic like corporate bullshit, right?
Yeah.
I get it. But wow.
Yeah. So Micah, that being said, like, the game is fun and you should play it if you want another Diablo experience, but just kind of know what you're getting into and set guardrails for yourself.
So I like Diablo, but I'm not like you said, I'm not one of those people that's like, I gotta fucking min-max my character and do everything I need to, right? Like, I just wanna kind of mess around with it on days that I have to go into work. So I'll give it a shot. My big thing is just how is it going to play on the phone. But we'll see. I'll give it a shot. I go to work on Thursday. I'll give it a shot. And
well, just so you know, I am on the Eternal Conflict server. So if you want to be able to meet up, then you're going to want to go on that server.
Yeah, that was another thing. That's another reason why I didn't start it yet, because I saw you had to pick a server, and I was like, all right, well, let me figure out what server Brad is on. Eternal Conflict.
Yeah.
Okay. Eternal.
So there you go. There's
There's
that. Well, Michael, why don't you tell the fine people about our wares before we move on to talking about the state of play?
Yeah, so go to densepixels.com /fans and get invited to our Discord there. You talk about a lot of stuff. We talk about wrestling, how Cody Rhodes had the worst purple nurple ever.
Jesus Christ.
and how Cam is like, it's a work, bro. It's a work, bro, is the dude I told you of wrestling parlance. And you can talk about games, like everyone talked about state of play. We talk about gaming news and stuff like that. Go to duncepixels.com/fans.
Not to slow you down, but I mean with Key 3 being this week, like it's probably bound to have a lot of chatter inside of the Discord, just saying.
I mean that's the name from now on. That's it. Holy shit. Go to youtube.com/densepixels, hit the subscribe button, and then hit the bell, and then give us a like, because we like you, and you should like us. And you
Great job.
You should subscribe to all of the TNP Studios podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Sorry, Jay is sending me messages about his favorite person in the world, The Rock, who he has a blood feud with for some strange reason. He hates The Rock.
Fine, but like, is he just upset about like the Black Adam poster or something?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Not upset.
Is there a Black Adam poster?
There is.
Yeah, there's a Black Adam poster. And you can hear us talk about it when you subscribe to the Nerd Pocket. Maybe not Black on we're not, well, I guarantee you we're not going to talk about it on Black Cinema, but you could subscribe to that show anyway. Coming Distractions is probably where we'll talk about it. And you get the weekly preview episode of the Look Forward Political Podcast. And because that's not enough, go to densepixels.com/premium for $5 a month or $50 for the full year. You get access to a bunch of other podcasts, including The Airing of Grievances, No Time to Bleed, The Men with the Golden Tongues, Upstage Conversations, and the full hour and a half, 2 hour-ish episode of the Look Forward Political Podcast. That is densepixels.com/premium.
The new Men with the Golden Tongues episode should be up by the time you're listening to this, because I just keep forgetting to post it because I'm an idiot apparently, and I think I'm going to create a Key 3 channel inside the Discord for all of the Summer Games Fest, E3 adjacent talk. That's gonna be out there. So make sure if you're in the Discord that you keep an eye out for that. Sony had a state of play that was very well regarded by most people.
Yeah,
last week.
It was a good one.
Yeah, let's just fucking walk through this shit. Mike, are you excited about Resident Evil 4 remake?
I as noted before, I don't have a backbone. But it does look really good. I like these Resident Evil games. But I never finished 4.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, and apparently 4 is literally the best Resident Evil.
That's what I've been told.
That's what they say. I don't know if they're correct on that, though.
I mean, I had a blast with 5. I know that's blasphemy to say, but
5 is the only one that I have spent any extensive amount of time playing, because I am a baby back bitch, and that game is just sort of a fun
It's an action game,
game.
Yeah, it's an action game where you get to live your white man fantasies of going to Africa and killing a bunch of black people in grass skirts, chucking spears. The 3rd level has black people in grass skirts chucking spears, and it's okay because you got a black partner. Get out of here, game. Get out of here. But I really like 5.
I played a lot of 5 in undergrad and in college. Resident Evil I think is a fantastic series, and it's just one that I am not gonna play. I'm very excited that they're remaking 4, because it feels like Capcom has been in sort of a renaissance these last few years.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of really well received games, a lot of really well received remakes. So good for them. Good for them for listening to the fans, because Lord knows, the moment they announced they were remaking 2, people were like, "Where's 4?" And it was just like, can we?
I mean, do you guys,
do
I mean,
three for this?
I still remember sitting with you guys when we were watching that stream, and we were just like, "What is this? Like, this looks amazing!" Like, and then like it was like, "Oh, Resident Evil 2." We're like, "Oh shit,
Yeah,
that's incredible!" So, I'm not a big 4 stan though. Like, I think 2 is still the best, and I think the remake kind of even proved that much more. But that's just my opinion.
Well, maybe the remake of 4 will change your mind.
I mean,
but...
they say that it's not a straight remake. They say it's a new game reimagined around like the story beats of RE4. So that could be interesting to see if they do something wildly different with this. Less escort missions. I think that's the one thing everybody
That's
wants.
another thing, man.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Like, I'm a Capcom fan, and as every Capcom fan is like a Capcom fan for life, right? Like, it's a terrible abusive relationship that Capcom fans have with Capcom. But we love them. Flaws and all, and a big flaw for me was that fucking escorting the president's daughter around. I'm just like, I don't want to do this. There's a guy with a potato sack on his head and a chainsaw coming after me, and I got to worry about Ashley. Get out of here, man. No.
Well, we'll see what happens. That releases on March 23rd, 2023.
Spider-Man is coming to the personal computing system later this year, I do believe. So that's very cool. August 12th is the date for that. So if you've been holding out on getting a PlayStation, but you really want to play Spider-Man, good news. It's going to probably be the prettiest way to play that game is on a high-end PC. So very cool. Horizon Forbidden West got an update adding New Game Plus and a few other things. And there is a new Horizon VR game called Call of the Mountain. That's going to be a launch title for the VR2 headset, I do believe, that's coming out. So that, of course, looks very pretty. A lot of people were buzzing about the Callisto Protocol trailer. This is the new game from the former makers of Dead Space, which is coming next year, or actually December 2nd this year. That's when it's slated to release.
I'm not going to play that.
I don't think any of us are.
No, I'm definitely not playing this. Like, I can get with Resident Evil, right? Because Resident Evil is just kind of like, but like, nah, I can't play like this type of like alien
weird,
type
nasty body horror stuff. Nah,
yeah, yo,
no.
just give me African zombies and grass skirts chucking spears. I will blow their heads off. This shit is fucking weird.
A roller skating third-person shooter called Rollerdrome was shown off with a very unique art style. I can't decide if I am really interested in this game or if I'm like not wanting anything to do with it. I can't tell.
Yeah, I'm sort of in the same way. I think the game looks really cool. It's got that sort of comic booky, cell shaded style to it. I'm a big fan of the idea of taking like a roller skating game and adding some other wacky bullshit to it. Mm-hmm. I just like I look at the trailer and it seems unpolished. It seems very unfinished. And it's coming out in August, so I don't know how good it's actually going to be. I hope it's good. But
the animations or lack thereof were really bothering me.
Yeah, they were like seemed very sort of like stock animations for a lot of the characters, which is always disappointing to see. But I hope it comes out and it's good and it's fun.
Yep. A game directly marketed to Carrie called Eternites is a action dating sim that's coming out next year.
Yeah,
for PlayStation.
This is like an indie title, which is interesting because it looks very polished and next gen for an indie game. Apparently Eternites is an action game that has dating sim elements to it, which is cool. Hope the action portion is good because otherwise I'm not going to play it. I'm not just going to play, I'm not going to play a crummy action game to get to a decent dating sim.
Let's see. Resident Evil Village and Resident Evil 4 are going to have VR content. I don't know what that means precisely, but
I think Village is coming in its entirety.
Okay.
To VR2, and then I think they were just like RE4 content in development, gotcha. And I don't know what that means.
No Man's Sky is also.
No Man's Sky should
Yeah.
be cool in VR. It could also be very motion sickness inducing, I imagine. And then they're doing a Walking Dead game for
Yes,
VR.
a sequel to the one that currently exists. So
I didn't know
Saints
there
and
was
Sinners
one
came out a
already.
little bit. Terrence said it was good, I do believe, when he played it. Tunic's coming to PlayStation, which I'm looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to that coming to Switch, but I'll take it on PlayStation if it doesn't come to Switch. That's coming out in September. Stray is going to be free if you have like the top tier PlayStation Plus subscription. That comes out in July. Game looks
I'm excited
interesting.
for Stray.
Yeah.
Look, if anything bad happens to that cat, I'm going to burn Sony's headquarters down.
If anything bad happens to that cat, I'm not going to care.
Now these last two we're going to go a little out of order because we have more to talk about with the second of the two, especially given two of the assholes in this fucking podcast. But the last thing they showed was a new trailer for Final Fantasy 16. I gotta say I was hoping for more gameplay. I guess there were some gameplay bits in this trailer as well. I will say this: I don't think I've been as excited for a Final Fantasy game to come out as I have been for this since probably Final Fantasy VIII.
This is the most excited I have been about a mainline Final Fantasy game this century. I just I know that stuff like 12 and 15 and even 13 has its dedicated fan base, but like the modern style of settings that Final Fantasy has largely lived in ever since 7 came out, I've never clicked with that. I want my fantasy games to be in a high fantasy environment, and I always thought like 4 and 6 were like that perfect blend of sort of steampunky magitech technology with more classical high fantasy elements. So the fact that we are going back to this like medieval style high fantasy stuff, and that they're putting such an emphasis on the summons and the icons, that's really exciting. The development staff that they sort of announced on the Final Fantasy Twitter after the fact, it is, as far as I am concerned, it is very much an all-star team of people. It's being produced by Naoki Yoshida, who's the man behind the vast majority of the content in Final Fantasy XIV. It's being directed by Hiroshi Takai, who is responsible for Final Fantasy V, Saga Frontier, and The Last Remnant. Kazutoyo Maehiro is the creative director and original screenplay person, and so he was responsible for a lot of stuff in 14 as well as in 12 and in The Last Remnant. The combat director is Ryota Suzuki, who is responsible for Devil May Cry 5 and Dragon's Dogma and some other stuff at Capcom, which is exciting to have sort of fresh blood in the Final Fantasy franchise. And the composer is Masayoshi Soken, who is the composer for FF14 as well, and plenty of other great games. And yeah, I'm very excited about this. I'm very excited to see some folks who have an incredible track record with not just the Final Fantasy name, but with RPGs in general and with other styles of games coming into the mainline Final Fantasy franchise to sort of take it back to its roots a little bit here. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I thought the trailer was great, and they did say that this will be out summer next year.
Next year, yeah, which really
probably means holiday next year.
We'll see.
This looks amazing, guys. Yeah. Like you said, Carrie, the modern Final Fantasies are cool and all, but like there's something weird about like
it's not my flavor of Final Fantasy.
There's something weird about fighting a giant turtle and a dragon and then hopping into a convertible and eating a cup noodles, as you do, right? Yeah. Like it just feels weird. Like, so this looks amazing. It looks like it's taking itself way too seriously, and I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. Right?
It's what I want out of my like Carrie said, out of your fantasy based role playing games.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, we don't have horses. We're riding on giant fucking chickens. But like, so what? Like,
We're getting
this is my
kaiju
mode of
battles
transport.
out of this, it looks
Hell
like.
yeah, man. This shit looks amazing. Like I can't wait for this. This
So my, my
yeah.
my question is like, is your party gonna be like the human manifestation of like the summons, or is this gonna be like a Power Ranger situation where you basically can like call on like each character
I
can call on
I
one of
don't
the
know.
individual summons and do
And
their
like
thing.
I could go either way with it. The way
Yeah.
that they sort of framed up like the naming of like the different summons and whatnot, the icons where, you know, you clearly see like this woman turns into Garuda and this person turns into Titan and so on and so forth. So I don't know. I'm like I'm in. I'm
Yeah.
day one. I'm in
Yeah.
unless
It's
something terrible happens between now and next year when this game comes out. It's honestly it's been a while since I have had such faith in a Square Enix RPG, sort of from the jump, right? I feel like Square Enix at large let Tetsuya Nomura like steamroll certain aspects of some of their franchises, Final Fantasy included, and I don't think he should be directing video
Yeah, man.
games.
It
Um
is it is time for that era to be dusted. Go away.
if I mean, if not go away entirely, like if they're just gonna be like, okay, cool, buddy, like just do Kingdom Hearts. Just do
Fine.
whatever the fuck you want to do in this
I don't have
corner
to
with
do
go
your
to go to
fucking
go to Kingdom Hearts
Keyblade.
Purgatory and leave the
Yeah,
rest of us alone.
sit
and
at the
and
kitty table. Get out of
it's
here.
just I simply don't think that that the way that the franchise has gone this century at
Yeah.
large has really um I don't want to say it hasn't been good. It hasn't been good for me. It's been good for plenty of other people. I mean, you know, for fuck's sake, Final Fantasy 15 was critically lauded in many aspects. I just, you know, I can't look at that and connect to it as a fan of older Final Fantasy games. That's just sort of where I'm at. So yeah, FF16 was a great thing to end on. Definitely got me hype as shit for this game. So
I'll tell you what got me and Micah hype as shit was the second to last thing that they showed
yep.
in this conference, which was an extended look at Street Fighter 6, which
They changed the logo, which is good.
yeah, the new logo is like dope as shit. Like they did a good job with that new
Yeah.
logo instead of
I dig
making it
it.
look like fucking clip art or whatever the hell it was before.
Literally Adobe stock art. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Micah, why don't you take us through what appears to be some of the new features of this brand new Street Fighter game, the first we've gotten since 2016?
So the big thing in this trailer is it looks like you are going to be walking around Metro City.
Yes.
It seems like there's going to be a big push for single player content. Like I think they really did take Street Fighter V and the lessons from Street Fighter V to heart, because this looks like a fully like feature rich, like super, like it looks like they're putting money and time and care into this, and it looks great, right? Like even like I know like people in the fighting game community don't like the word casual, right? But like you have to appeal to people who are just like, oh, this maybe looks kind of cool, maybe I'll check this out, if you want these things to survive. You know what I mean? Like and so anyway, the trailer takes us and we see a character running through Metro City. It looks like you can um fight randos on the street for some strange reason.
Yeah.
Um
You can literally be a street fighter in this game.
yeah. And then it goes and shows off four characters. Luke, you know, all right, your hair looks dumb. Jamie, who looks awesome, right? Chun Li, everybody's favorite world warrior, and Ryu, the stalwart. And when I see the game in action, it's using RE Engine, and I love the slightly more realistic proportions,
Hmm.
right? Like they're not like Street Fighter doesn't have realistic proportions. Like if you look at the hands and feet, like they're big, but they're
Yeah.
big so that they're big for a reason, right? So that your eyes can like keep track of where the limbs are. But I love the fact that I love the way it looks, right? It looks great in motion. RE Engine, it's a weird hybrid of like realistic but not,
Hmm.
but it works. You know what I mean? Like it's not like the hyper realism of the Resident Evil movies, games, but it works for what Street Fighter is.
Hmm.
Like it feels like a natural evolution. Um, there's it in the trailer. It looks like they're taking aspects from all of the best Street Fighters
Yeah,
and
the
putting them into this game.
like the vibes are very like Street Fighter 3 ish to me, which is a good
Yeah,
thing. I think to return to that sort of like hip hop's like not the right term, but like I don't know. It feels like they're catering to a more
it
like modern
feels
aesthetic.
it feels urban,
Yeah.
right? It feels street, right? And I get what they're going for. I love it. I've been looking at some of the things that you can do in the game. It so they have this new system called the drive system,
Hmm.
and like every Street Fighter has a gimmick, right? Like Street Fighter 2, they introduced like hyper fighting, all right? Like fighting at ridiculous speeds
Hmm.
because, right? Street Fighter 3 introduced parrying. Street Fighter 4 introduced focus attacks. Street Fighter 5 introduced V skills. Street Fighter 6 and Street Fighter Alpha introduced like alpha counters and grooves and stuff like that. This looks like it's taking the best from all of the other Street Fighters. Um, it's got a drive gauge, which is basically your one resource for everything that's not super move related,
Hmm.
and it's refillable, right? So you have drive impacts, which are basically focus attacks, right? That can absorb two moves, right? You have drive parries, which can work in two different ways, right? You can either hold the parry buttons down, and you can auto parry, or you can parry like you normally would, and that gets you like a bonus or whatever, right? You got overdrive, which is your EX moves, right? Everybody knows those. Um, Drive rush, which is basically dash canceling out of any special, right? That
Hmm.
that is cancelable. Um, and drive reversal, which is basically your alpha counter. And as a person who really really loves like Street Fighter Alpha 2, like alpha counters are basically your combo breakers, right? But you have to be blocking. It's just basically like a get off me mechanic. Yo, it feels like they're giving you a lot of different tools that that you can make fights very very interesting,
Hmm.
right? Like I'm super excited for where this game plays. Um, I they have a something called a modern control scheme, which is used to kind of get newer people or people who are not into fighting games to get them to kind of jump in and start having fun and start doing stuff.
Hmm.
And I know people kind of, people who play fighting games kind of scoff at that, and I get it, right? Because like doing the
It's
motions,
not for you. Don't
right? It's not for you. It's just not for you.
that's the thing is that it's interesting because like the people that would gatekeep that kind of stuff, like they don't understand that it's in their interest to not be that way. Like it's in their interest to, like you said, to grow that community as much as possible and to
I mean, that's all gatekeepers. You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like that's literally all gatekeepers of any fandom. But yeah, you need people. Fighting games were like the shit in the '90s
Hmm.
because everybody bought fighting games. That's why you saw so many of them, right? Because everybody bought them, and it's not that way again. If you want that to happen again, like you got to get new people into this stuff. Um, and then, so look, the game looks amazing, right? The game looks great, right? Um, and then poor Capcom, god damn it, Capcom, like they literally just cannot catch a fucking
No,
break.
they sure can't.
the goddamn roster,
The whole fucking roster leaked.
the whole starting fucking roster leaked. The whole thing. Now look,
That being said,
thankfully,
these character designs look good as shit, though.
yo, these character designs are hot shit, son.
Yo,
Like,
they're
I
so good.
I think I saw someone looked at like Ken's evolution in the last 3 Street Fighter games, and it was like, you know, like Street Fighter 4
yeah.
was like fuckboy Ken, and then like Street Fighter 5 was midlife crisis Ken, and then like this one is like
Street Fighter 6.
wife
She took
left.
the fucking kids with you.
I mean, that's the rumor, right? Like, that's the rumor that the single player game is you are actually Ken running around Metro City, and you are trying to kind of get your fighting spirit back. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Because Ken, who was he was like a rich boy, right? Like, and he lost it all, right? And now this is his comeback, right? Like, everybody loves a comeback. Look, man, it sucks, but it's also like, because like all of these designs are fucking super styling, smoking triple S fucking shit.
Dude, this DJ design is fucking hot as shit.
Yo, DJ looks fucking dope. Yo, he looks like a DJ. Like, holy
Yeah.
shit, what a concept! I see
Cammy
people.
looks great.
Cammy look. I'm glad you brought her up. Cammy looks amazing, but I see people online who are complaining because she's wearing fucking pants. Now the pants
Cammy wear
are
pants?
literally skin tight. Like, you can see.
You know what
you can
Cammy
see
is probably
thigh gap,
done
dude.
with dealing with, given how thick her fucking thighs are? Chafing. You know
And
what
look-
doesn't happen if you wear pants? Chafing.
I mean, plus, are we also gonna act like that her like OG costumes aren't going to be available at some point?
Right,
There's video of Cammy doing her super move with her OG outfit.
Yeah.
Right. So like, everybody calm down. You could still fap to Cammy all you want, but like, all of these designs look so fucking dope. Like, I can't tell you how much I am super excited to play. To see
Even
all of
Blanca
these.
looks fucking stylish. Like,
Yo, Blanca got a romper on, yo. Like, he's got Chun-Li. I think Chun-Li looks amazing. I've seen people complain about Chun-Li because her legs are covered up. Her legs were technically kind of covered up before. Like, she's a Chinese woman with black legs. Like, come on, yo.
She also like her alpha costume. She was wearing pants. Like, it's not like this is a new. It's not like this is a new thing.
This is the perfect combination of her Street Fighter 2 classic look and the alpha look. Like, it's amazing.
yeah.
Every
out here
single one
looking
of
like
these
a
motherfuckers. Yo, and then we see the new characters, right? Like, there's Luke. All right, whatever. Put some shoes on, dummy. There's big Italian lady who looks dope. There's Jamie. There's Lady Abel. There is Baby T-Hawk. There's fucking the former owner of the Chelsea Football Club. There's African American ninja girl wearing a Walkman, of all things. And then there's evil Lady Fang. And Fang as an F.A.N.G. Like, I'm not trying to be like fucking racist or nothing. But yo, everybody looks dope, man. Look at Akuma. He fucking cut his hair. He doesn't have the fucking lion mane flower petal hair anymore, man. Yo, he looks dope. Look at
tied it up. It looks
Ed.
great. Like,
Look at stupid ass Ed looking like an Abercrombie and Fitch model.
Why the fuck is a dude from from Germany just named Ed of all things? My question.
Everybody's favorite evil waifu, fucking Jury is back, and she looks great. Look at Rashid. Looking fucking dapper as shit. Looking like he's fucking just rich. Just fucking look. He's fucking awesome, dude.
And Zangief is channeling his inner Hulk Hogan. Like, he's getting older. He switched from the tights to the pants. Yeah. Like we don't want to wear the fucking briefs anymore.
Fucking Dawson looks great. Like, this is the perfect evolution. That's the perfect look. Dawson looks like what Jay's father-in-law looks like with no hair. Like he looks dope, yo. Look at my
Yo.
man Gal. Look at my man Gal. You cannot keep those guns in a fucking flight suit. Bam! Like he's just popping out of it. And is he wearing? Is he got a beard? He's got a beard. I mean, that's not like military like legal, but like
Maybe he's retired at this point. Who
I'll
knows?
take it. I'll take it because fucking beards make people look dope. So even Honda, look at Honda, yo. Like I don't give a fuck about sumo wrestlers, but this dude looks like he's a fucking evil yakuza sumo wrestler, yo. I all of them look
Yeah.
dope, yo. All of them look dope. I can't wait. It sucks that they got released because that's how you market a fighting game is like, oh,
Yes,
who's it
is the
gonna
character
be?
release.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like the hype is still there for me, man. Everybody looks dope. I love it. I can't wait for this game. February. It's not like it's probably going to come out in February because that's when all Street Fighter games come out for some strange
Yeah.
reason. February. But yeah, man. Look, I'm down. I'm down. You mark me down.
Look, I am not a fighting game person because I don't like the fighting game community because of the gatekeeping bullshit, and I'm not very good at fighting games. I tend to do fighting games, when I have friends over, if I'm at a friend's house, and just to have fun. If there's a compelling single player aspect to Street Fighter 6, I might have to pick Street Fighter 6 up. I've always liked Street Fighter. I've always liked the characters. I have very fond memories of playing Street Fighter 2 on SNES at friends' houses as a kid. And so if 6 is really leaning into the single player aspect in a big way, it might get me back in, man. Like
Yeah.
I think what I really want to do is just listen to more music from Street Fighter.
I mean, that's the part I'm
damn.
looking forward to seeing releases from is like they can drop the
Give me
characters,
a
but
new
give me the
mix of
soundtrack.
like all the stuff, all the old character themes. Like fuck me up with that.
Yeah. Very cool. Micah, where can the fine people listening to the show buy Street Fighter 6 when it releases?
You can go to densepixels.com/Amazon. If you go to densepixels.com/Amazon, you get the same Amazon goodness. I don't know. That you would. You just give us we get a little bit of a finder's fee. So go to densepixels.com/Amazon. What is the most pick up where you left off?
I'm always terrified when you do this because
boy.
Lord only knows what we might find.
A Da Vinci Piper upholstered recliner and swivel glider in gray with cream piping for $400.
I was going to say sounds expensive.
You ordered a recliner from Amazon?
No, I think my wife is pricing them so that
Okay.
when we go to Bye Baby to get a recliner for the new baby's room, we'll kind of know where we need to how much we're looking at so that the charlatans and criminals at Bye Baby don't upcharge us. But yeah, go to densepixels.com and get yourself a $400 recliner. That'll really help us out.
So,
Give it to me.
I mean,
It'll really help me out.
I mean, you can help us out. Sometimes you got to help yourself, and that's what an entire GameStop store did out in Lincoln, Nebraska, at the Gateway Mall, where apparently the entire store walked out and posted a note on the door encouraging people to shop elsewhere. Allegedly, this is in the same general area in Nebraska where something similar happened last year at some point, which, I mean, knowing the dispersion of GameStops in Nebraska probably means it's in the same district, knowing what I
The
know.
same district manager.
Highly likely, assuming that they're still there. But yeah, people said that, we're getting mistreated and we're getting leaned on for impossible sales and this, that, or the other thing. And so for our mental health, we need to leave. The former store manager talked to, I believe, Kotaku in this story that we are referencing here. Obviously, the stores be open soon. They'll pull folks in from other stores in the area to keep the business running. But just a fucking shame, man. Just a fucking shame.
I mean, it's frustrating because on one hand, like, sure, this is the sort of thing that happens across all retail, sort of regardless of whatever specific industry they're in. But this feels so emblematic of how GameStop specifically treats its employees, not just in Nebraska, but elsewhere, because it's like I read this story and I'm like, oh wow, a whole store worth of people walked out after being tired of being held to impossible standards by their district manager. Um, this sure feels like part of the reason why I turned in my keys with no notice 8 fucking years ago. And nothing in the corporate culture has changed to make anything better for the actual store employees,
Yeah.
because they know that people who are looking for work and like video games will be willing to work at GameStop, because that means that they can get paid to talk about video games. That's how they've always worked.
I mean,
It's
that's literally why I applied when I first applied
yeah.
years ago.
And,
So,
and the thing is, like, you don't leave. It's very telling to me that this situation apparently happened in the same general area recently, because you don't generally quit companies, you generally quit people. And
Mm-hmm.
generally, like, if your boss sucks, that's like before I like in the years that I was considering leaving GameStop, the time that I made the biggest push personally to do so was when I had a boss that I really didn't like. And when I got a new boss that I liked a lot more, I stopped looking for a while because I was enjoying working again. And it really does boil down to the people that you work for being good, that can manage, that can even a company that is a little bit let's say at sea as GameStop is right now, especially with them deciding like, oh, we're gonna look into NFTs and crypto and all this other bullshit. Having a good person that you work for can help assuade a lot of that chaff from falling down to the store level, I will say. So sounds to me like their district manager fucking sucks ass. And that's probably really the root cause of what happened here. Tim Sweeney decided to let everybody know that there was no way that Fortnite was ever going to get cryptocurrency because he sees it as a scam. And yet, the Epic Games Store is going to be publishing its first NFT game with a Wild West battle royale game rather, called Grit, which is coming soon to the Epic
Yeah, the
Games
game
Store.
looks like hot trash too. So they're like, "Oh, we're publishing this NFT game," and then you look at the footage and you're like,
Yeah,
"Okay."
it's so like it's so funny to watch these people online who are big like Web3 proponents who talk about how like, oh, like, can like, there was some screed that I saw that someone screen capped from LinkedIn that they put on
Yeah,
Twitter about this
yeah.
dude like walking through the like the NFT utopia in the video game industry. And can you imagine what this would be like? And he was detailing like how you could go from one game to the next and use currency from this game and this other game to do this
All right,
thing.
hold on.
And
Let me.
yeah, are you gonna find it? Because it's
Oh,
pretty
oh
fucking
no, I got it. Oh yeah, okay,
great.
I got it.
Yeah,
This
it's
is this is by a guy Nicholas Vericke. Says the year is 2030. It's a rainy Saturday afternoon. You've just finished mining 30 obsidian ore playing
before
Crypto Crush Saga.
before you get too far. This also reads as the most LinkedIn post of all LinkedIn
Oh,
posts that
it
I've ever seen in my
absolutely
entire
is
life. Yeah,
super LinkedIn speak. You open up the Elder Chains online and feel a rush of excitement. Your buddy from school has spent the last 2 years becoming a master blacksmith, and he has agreed to turn the 10 obsidian ore into an obsidian battle staff, a huge upgrade over the mithril mace you've been wielding for the last weeks. It'll take him an hour or so. In the meantime, you hop into Clash of Guilds and use the remaining obsidian to upgrade your town hall to the next level. That should keep your village safe for now. You wish you could fast forward time to tonight. Your guild has plans to go for a deep run into the wilderness in the old school rune chains, and your prospects of a successful run and great loot have never been better. All members have been spending the past 2 weeks grinding for better weapons, and you've agreed through a vote to use the guild treasury to buy everyone a new full set of red dragonhide armor. Tonight's objective is to kill the level 128 frost giant hiding in the Cave of Sorrow. He has a 5% chance of dropping an immaculate orb of brilliance, of which there are currently only 4 in existence. This orb can be used as a power source in an upcoming space exploration game and should give your guild a great advantage in reaching distant galaxies first. A 5% drop rate is low, but you're feeling optimistic. In the distance, you hear a faint, "Blockchain doesn't bring anything new to games." You shrug and join your friends in the Discord voice channel. Life is good. Hashtag blockchain gaming.
Aside from the fact that this was written by someone who tangentially knows what video games are, but has never actually played one before, it's so funny how all of this shit just gets kind of steered back around to like microtransactions and to the same kind of bullshit. Like I love that, like, oh, 5% doesn't seem good, but you're feeling like rolling the dice tonight. I'm just like, of course.
As Jason Schreier himself said in his reply to this, if you've ever worried about exploitative play to earn mechanics growing prevalent in the video game industry, just remember that the people investing hundreds of millions of dollars into them think that their biggest selling point is that.
That sounds like it was prepared by someone that delivers that to people that they are about to swindle into a pyramid scheme.
1000%. Yes. Again, this is what you tell people who also don't play video games, to get them to invest into the video game industry. Is like, oh, this all sounds like general nerd speak to me. It must be incredibly authentic and entirely possible. And the funny thing is that there, like, as I saw someone else point out online, of all the things they detailed here, absolutely none of it technically would require the blockchain to exist. What it would require is one video game
server.
Yeah, one developer able to share assets across, multiple games that they develop. Like, that's what it would take.
There's no part of that required blockchain even a little bit.
So if such a linked environment across multiple games was something that the game industry desired, the game industry could make it happen. The problem is that they all are better off being siloed because sharing that resource across space is not financially conducive to being successful. Stupid. So, once again, blockchain continues to be fucking dumb. So Dragon Age, for some reason, announced the title of the new game, and that's it. Which is called Dreadwolf, of course. So there you go. Micah, do you like the very purple logo that they released for it?
I mean, I am partial to purple. I do like it. Look, I just need to. I'm very curious. The name is fine. The name makes sense, right? Like, we're gonna figure out what the fuck Solus is doing and what.
I'm gonna crack that egg.
Yeah, man. Like, what is your fucking problem, dude? Look, it gives me an excuse to go back and play Dragon Age Inquisition, sure, which is A-okay with me. But yeah, there's really not much. That's the name. Yep. And I like the name. It makes sense. You're figuring out what the hell Solus is doing. I get it. Like, when's it coming out?
Yep. Not this year, and probably not next, if I had to guess. So yeah, we got a while away still. And also the QA contractors that work for BioWare in Edmonton voted to unionize. So there's another video game organization that has decided to organize their labor, which is very smart. Finally, in the news, look, I'm sure that many of you out there that are fans of one Sonic T. Hedgehog tire of me making fun of the Blue Blur relentlessly for his games that are normally very, hot garbage that people somehow talk themselves into being good. Look, I'm not here to judge your life choices. You can be wrong, and that's fine.
No, they're not good platformers, Joe. They're not good platformers.
They're not. However, I just want to point out that the Sonic game developers make it really easy to make fun of Sonic games. And another great example of that was the reveal of Sonic Frontiers, which is a new open world Sonic the Hedgehog game, 3D open world Sonic the Hedgehog game that's allegedly coming out this year.
They say it's coming out this year, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
So that all this week there's actually been footage sort of trickling out through IGN, because that was, I guess, the deal that they had.
Your main source for Sonic the Hedgehog news.
And like on one hand, I think certain things look really cool and interesting, and on the other end of things, I'm just like, this world, this island feels sort of empty. Like, I don't really know what's going on. I can't really glean any plot from this at all. Like, I want it to come out, and I really want it to be good. And I really think it has the potential to be very good looking at the trailers. But I also think it has the potential to be very bad. And I worry, given the history of Sonic the Hedgehog in 3 dimensions, that it might be the latter.
It is not an accident. It is not an accident that the most beloved Sonic game, the most highly praised Sonic game that has come out since Sonic 3, for fuck's sake. Mm-hmm. Actually, that's not fair. Since Sonic Adventure was Sonic Mania. And it's because Sonic Mania took Sonic the Hedgehog back to its roots, which is where people fell in love with Sonic the Hedgehog. Even though the games aren't actually good platforming games. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, like, do people like Sonic for his personality? Like, because his personality is from a bygone era. There's
a lot of reasons to like Sonic the Hedgehog, I think.
What, chili dogs?
I like, you know, he was always sort of positioned as like the edgier, cooler alternative to Mario, and you know, obviously very much became his own thing. I mean, the Sonic franchise and the character designs at large have always gone by rule of cool. Where the fuck do you think Shadow the Hedgehog came from? They're like, all right, cool. How do we take this already cool looking character and make him even cooler?
Let's make Edgelord the Hedgehog
black and red. Just crank it up.
Cloud Strife the Hedgehog.
I love Shadow the Hedgehog. Completely unironically. I'm wearing a fucking Big the Cat shirt right now.
Yeah. Look, Sonic fans, be thankful that you somehow, defying logic, got 2 entertainingly good Sonic
really
movies.
Fun movies.
Yeah, and just kind of give up the ghost at this point. I don't know what else to tell you.
Look, I feel I'm very mixed on how Sonic Frontiers is looking so far. I hope it's good. The combat seems sort of interesting. Some of the boss fights that they showed today during the Sonic Central presentation, which was different than the footage that IGN had. Mm-hmm. There's like a boss where it's like this big sort of flying serpent basically, and you like run along his back and like run up to the head and like whack it. I'm just like, it almost seems sort of Shadow of the Colossus-ish in a way that is, I think, cool and interesting.
Yeah, I hear you, but one of the things that is off-putting to me about this is that this world looks hyper realistic, and Sonic the Hedgehog looks like Sonic the Hedgehog. Now I know that but like at least in the movies, like the Sonic has like texture to his like quills and stuff like that. This looks like a very good high-res version of the cartoon Sonic in this hyper-realistic world. And I don't know. It just, I mean, I guess you get used to it. I'm not gonna, I mean, the world looks empty, but like, this is, you know.
But also it's like you want to be able to run really fast for a long period of time without running into anything, right?
Right.
So it has to be empty to an extent.
Right.
So look, I'm trying to reserve.
Fuck that. This game is going to be trash. It's going to be fucking hot garbage. And it's going to be fucking awful. And I'm calling it here now. Not that this is a bold prediction by any stance of the imagination, any imagination that a 3D Sonic game is going to be a fucking dumpster fire. But I can assure you that this game is going to be a fucking dumpster fire and be awful. But buy it on
In other
denspixels.com/Amazon.
Sonic gaming news, there was a new trailer for Sonic Origins, which of course includes the remastered editions of Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles, as well as Sonic CD. There are some remastered stages, and then like new modes like mirror mode are being introduced and whatnot. So if you are preferential to the classic Sonic the Hedgehog, Origin should hopefully scratch that itch. The other thing that I was most excited about out of the Sonic Central presentation. Last year they did this big 30th anniversary Sonic Symphony Orchestra show that included, I believe, a London-based orchestra, as well as Crush 40 and a couple other guests.
That was a year ago?
That was a year ago.
I remember that like it was like recent.
The years have absolutely blurred together. That was a full year ago.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. They're going to tour that symphony, which is really exciting. They haven't announced any dates beyond the fact that they will be doing this at the Brazil Game Show in October with a full tour after that. So I'm really excited for this. As soon as they did it last year, I was like, man, it'd be really nice if they toured this. So I'm glad they're touring it, because like the whole set list, if it is exactly the same set list as what they had last year, fuck me up with that. Absolutely. Like it was such a good set. I mean, they had Sonic 1, 2, 3 and Knuckles medleys, as well as a Game Gear medley. They had a Sonic Mania medley. They did a medley of stuff from Sega Saturn. Like they hit games that most people don't even like, but like even in the games that aren't good, that are like universally considered not good, like Sonic 06, the music has always been fucking baller. So it was cool to get all these orchestral renditions of that stuff. Sonic Lost World, Sonic Forces, and then all of the sort of vocal songs like Open Your Heart and Sonic Heroes and Sonic Boom and I Am All of Me from Shadow the Hedgehog. And then, of course, Escape from the City and Live and Learn and whatnot were on that set list as well. So I really hope it comes somewhere close to here. But I'm just like, fuck it. I'll travel to see a Sonic the Hedgehog Symphony Orchestra show. Whatever. I'll go.
I think this might be a more concerning part of your personality than your extreme Golden Sun fandom. I gotta say, like I feel like we might need to stage a Sonic intervention for Carrie. I hate to see you doing this to yourself.
That's fine.
It's very damaging. So a couple games are coming out this week. Spellforce 3 Reforced is coming to PlayStation, Xbox. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords, coming to Nintendo Switch. Pro Cycling Manager is coming to PC, alongside Tour de France 2022, which is coming to PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, The Hinokami Chronicles, a rare double hyphen game title, is coming to Nintendo Switch. The Quarry, which is the new game from Supermassive, which are the like the Until Dawn folks, is coming to PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. And the game that I will be playing this weekend for sure, Mario Strikers Battle League, coming to the Nintendo Switch. I played the online preview only a little bit because you had to play online and only during certain times, but it was a lot of fun. And I hope that the single player offerings are much better than we got in Mario Tennis and Mario Golf, which came before it. So fingers crossed that is the case, but I'm looking forward to that coming out. It is also a new month since we've recorded, so there's new free shit that you can get on PlayStation and Xbox. Starting on PlayStation, you can get God of War, Naruto to Boruto, Shinobi Striker, and Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. Fuck, I can't talk. All for free with your PlayStation Plus subscription.
Real quick, that's a pretty timely free drop, because they're doing a big update that finally adds voice acting to the game, featuring all of the actual voice actors from the cartoons. So if that was a game that you passed on initially, hey, fuck it, it's free. You might as well grab it now that all the characters are actually voiced.
Yep. If you have Xbox, there's one standout game here to check out, but that's Super Meat Boy, which is available in the first half of June until the 15th, and then Rascals comes out in the second half of June. Those are your 360 games, and then your Xbox One titles are Avon Colony, and Project High Rise Architects Edition, which I think Project High Rise is like a SimCity offshoot of sorts. So that's what you got for free if you have a Xbox. Now we take it to the Dense Pixels post office, where I have to figure out where we left off from the last episode.
What was the last episode? So probably the 30, not the 31st, the 24th.
24th.
Anything
Yeah,
after the 24th?
yeah. We talked about. I think I talked about. Yeah, I talked about the F1 podcast in the last episodes. That's where we left off. Cam asks if we're excited about WB Multiversal. That had its big like press thing.
Multiverses looks like shit.
Yeah, I'm not too high on that.
Nah.
Film Wanderer asks a couple racing questions. I don't remember enough about the Indy 500 because it was too long ago, but he did ask if Monaco is no longer on the schedule around this time for Formula One next year, where should the new race be at? They just shouldn't have one. Like, if they don't have Monaco, just take a race off the calendar. There's already too many races as it is. Micah, have you continued watching Drive to Survive?
I am behind.
Okay.
I forget where I am, but I'm behind. Just
Okay. Like I said, I can't wait till you finish the season because I want.
Oh, you'll know. Like
Yeah.
I kind of remember, but my memory is hazy. So yes.
They did reveal the new Pokemon starters that are going to be in Scarlet and Violet.
No, so not just the starters. I completely forgot there was a new Pokemon trailer that came out last week. That revealed the new legendaries as well as 3 more other brand new Pokemon. The 2 new legendary Pokemon are the sort of motorcycle looking dragon dudes, Koraidon and Miraidon. Koraidon with a red, very feathery looking color scheme, and Miraidon sort of purpley with like clearly digitized eyes and whatnot. They both look like motorcycles. We also got the looks. There will be 2 different Pokemon professors, one for each game. I forget their name. One looks very homosexual, and he's going to be clearly the tech-based professor, and then the girl is basically wearing like a fucking loincloth under her lab coat. So it's leading to a lot of speculation as far as like, you know, what's the theme, what's the underlying theme of the sort of story here, and what's the deal with these 2 different professors and these 2 different dragons. And I think a lot of people are leaning towards this probably being sort of a tradition versus technology sort of theme conflict to the game, which will be interesting. But in any case, there are 3 other brand new Pokemon. You've got Palmy, who is the new regional electric mouse, very chunky little chunky little rabbit dude. And then we have Smoliv, who's an olive that is small. And then we've got Lechonk. Yo, they named the little pig Lechonk. I am delighted. Fucking cracks me up. Yeah, Lechonk is a little pig, and he's chonky. And this is based in Spain, so he is a Lechonk.
I really hope that they keep the naming convention with its other evolutions.
Lechonk into Lechungus.
Yeah. and then like Lechungus Grande would be like the final form.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty clever sort of twist because lechon is a Spanish pork dish, I think. So chonky pig, lechonk. Yeah, no, that fucking cracks me up, dude. Like,
Johnny asks, who we think the 3 not revealed Street Fighter 6 characters are going to be. I don't know, man. Like, there's such a wide swath of characters to choose from.
I want to see
the Street
Dan
Fighter franchise. I don't think you'll get Dan at launch. I think you'll get Dan eventually through DLC. I don't think he'll be there on day 1.
Dan's my favorite Street Fighter character.
Yeah. Like I said, as I've talked about on the show before, I just like using Dan when people are scrubs online and just spam shitty attacks all the time. Cam says E3 has announced it'll be back in 2023 as both a digital and in-person event. His question is, why?
Because we can't let Jeff Keighley get away with this.
Nah, yo, it's too late, man. It's too late. Key 3 is it, man.
Yeah. In reality, the only reason that it's going to be back is because the ESA wants that money from game publishers. That's honest to God the only reason why they're going to try so hard to put it on. Yeah. But yeah, that doesn't don't. I mean, who knows though? Who knows? Like, it's not like coronavirus is going to be completely stamped out by the time we get to summer 2023 either. So we'll see how that goes. Film Wanderer asks, how do you guys feel about Sonic Frontiers preview gameplay? I think we answered that pretty sufficiently. And then we'll end with Trey, who says, with Sega announcing the Sega Mini 2, which I did not see that announcement, does it now feel like maybe slowly Sega and possibly Nintendo will give us the mini version of our specific favorite console for them? Hashtag give me my mini Dreamcast, damn you. I don't know. Do you think, because the problem with a mini Dreamcast is that it would require
a lot
of partnerships that
Yeah.
Sega doesn't necessarily have anymore.
Yeah.
To get the best games from the Dreamcast, because a lot of the best games were third party.
So Sega did announce the Mega Drive 2 mini console.
I like how they're just skipping over the Saturn. Because no one gives a shit.
The what? The who?
Yeah, exactly.
So it'll have they confirmed a handful of releases. This is not a complete roster, but it will have Virtua Racing, Bonanza Bros, Shining in the Darkness, which is a great game, Thunder Force 4, Magical Taruruto, and Fantasy Zone, all of which were Mega Drive games or Genesis games. And then they confirmed a bunch of Sega CD games that will also be on it, those being Sylphied, Shining Force CD, Sonic CD, Mansion of Hidden Souls, and Popful Mail. So, yeah. Now, the original Genesis Mini, I think, had like 40-something games on it.
Mm-hmm.
It had a lot, so this is probably just a small sampling of what it will have. But this looks like they're going to be leaning into stuff that was probably for the Genesis add-ons, i.e. the Sega CD and the 32X that were not on the original Mini Genesis. So maybe we'll still get a miniature Saturn, and it'll have 5 games because the Saturn didn't have jack shit worth playing.
Can you name the 5 games that would be on the retro Saturn?
Nights into Dreams.
Okay.
Panzer Dragoon Saga.
Sure. Was there a Phantasy Star game on the Saturn?
I don't know.
Daytona, USA.
Daytona, yeah.
And that's literally it. Like this. Oh my god, the Saturn was such a fucking depressing. Again, the greatest bullet dodge of my entire life was my mom not letting me get the $99 Saturn when they had that in stores where it came with the 3 like Daytona, Virtua Cop, and probably Virtua Fighter.
Virtua Fighter would probably be on a Saturn Mini.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
But yeah.
Landgrisser, Lunar, the Silver Star story. Yeah, there's here's the thing, like a lot of the stuff that was on Saturn was, available on other systems and was generally better on other systems. That being said, I would love a quality way to play Nights into Dreams because that's a fun game. They could put Police Knots on there, I guess.
I don't know. Is Konami interested in publishing Hideo Kojima games at this point?
I simply do not know. Fucking, was there a Sonic game on the Saturn?
There had
wasn't the fact that like they couldn't get a good Sonic game on the system like a huge blow to it?
I thought Sonic Adventure 1 came out on.
No, Sonic Adventure 1 was a launch game for the Dreamcast.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you had Sonic R and Sonic 3D Blast.
Which they had on the Genesis, and I only know that because I played that game to completion when I was a young child.
Was probably better on the Genesis. Sonic R's a fun game for what it is.
Sonic 3D Blast maybe was better on the Genesis, but it was not good. I can assure you of that.
Weird isometric
Yeah.
They sure were trying something with that game. Both
They
games,
did.
however, excellent music.
Yeah, it was alright.
I love the tunes in Sonic R especially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's it for the show. Thank you guys for submitting your questions
wow.
to the post office. Don't forget that you too can join it. Join our Discord at densepiss.com/fans. Look out for the Key 3 channel coming soon to a Discord near you for all of the Summer Games Fest chatter that'll be going on
tomorrow. I'll put that up tonight.
Yeah. Make sure you subscribe to the show as well as all the other shows in the TNP stable. Wherever you get fine podcast, you can find us there. Make sure you go to youtube.com/densepixels, subscribe there as well. And you can follow us on Twitch. I'm DensePixels Brad, Terrence is Apparition 410, Carrie is Subs Carrie, and the main channel is twitch.tv/densepixels. And that's it for this week. So again, look forward.
Everything this Saturday. If you're in Baltimore, we rescheduled our console war show after it got canceled very last minute. 1 p.m. Saturday at the War Memorial in Baltimore. Incidentally enough, there will be a Sonic 3D Blast tune in the program somewhere.
Weird.
So, yes, it's part of a medley.
And again, look forward to a fucking mega show next week because, of course, we'll have all of the announcements. I mean, like the Microsoft Bethesda show is apparently so big that it requires 2 shows to show everything because they announced a second show, which is going to offer an extended look at some of the things that they showed.
The second show is just going to be Todd Howard naked on a bearskin rug, apologizing for delaying Starfield.
and Redfall.
Sorry.
Redfall. He's like, I had nothing to do with Redfall, but I still feel that I have to apologize for
sorry.
it. So, cool. Well, that's it for us this week. Thank you guys very much for watching and listening. We'll see you all the next time.
See ya.
See ya.
You're watching the Dense Pixels YouTube channel. Click the subscribe button while you're here and make sure you check out our weekly podcast where we discuss the latest gaming news and our impressions on what games we've been playing.